You know, people break up. And what happens is, whenever there's a breakup, there's usually an attempt to make
Stay
up.
tuned.
Hello and welcome to Life in the Philippines. I'm bobbieD. In today's video, we'll talk about hard truths about why you're still thinking about your ex. Watch this video to the end for a better understanding. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Now, when you talk about the Philippines, you understand, this is a country where people fall in love. Yeah. Foreigners, Filipinos, foreigners, Filipinos, they come together and they hook up and they fall in love. But sometimes, my friends, you know, people break up. And what happens is, whenever there's a breakup, there's usually an attempt to make up. But sometimes the makeup attempt doesn't work. You wind up left alone. Sometimes feeling empty. You know? Sometimes feeling broken. Like an empty shell inside. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a good feeling. But the reality of the whole situation is that you have to let go. And sometimes when you let go, memories still linger in the corners of your mind. So today we're going to talk about some hard truths. Hard truth, my friends, or why you're still thinking about that ex you had. Yeah, I'm going to break it down to you, right? Tight, long, and strong. You think I'm playing with you today? Nah. When I get through this, you might need a tissue. Anybody got some tissue out there? You might get you some tissue. Because I'm going to break it down. I'm going to run it down to you. And when I get through with this, you're going to stop. You're going to understand why you can't stop thinking about JoJo. I can't stop thinking. Yeah, I'm going to run it down to you. But there's hope. Not only am I going to break it down to you, I'm going to show you how you can get out of this situation. How you can, now, remember the late great brother James Brown? I'm going to show you how you can deal with it. You know what he used to say? Deal with it. Who? Deal with it. Who? I'm going to show you how to deal with this thing. The right way, the tight way, the long way, and the strong way. You hear me? Let's go. So let's talk about the focus. Thumbnail for today. Thumbnail for today. Thumbnail for today. Here we go. So think about you. See that lady right there? You see, I'm thinking about my baby. I'm thinking about you. I'm still thinking about you. I miss you so much. I miss your touch. I miss your smile. I miss the way you smell. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking. You can think all you want. But does that mean he's coming back to you? And for you, and sometimes, men think about women too. Does it mean she's coming back to you? Huh? We're going to break it down to you right tight, long term. So we're going to look at focus, no hocus pocus, just focus. Four things today we want to look at, okay? This is our focus for today. Does thinking about your ex really mean you're not over them? Does it really mean that if you think about your ex, does it mean you're not over them? We're going to find out. I mean, could it or would it or should it? Quiet minds want to know. Secondly, we're going to look at memory lane. Sometimes when you think about memory in the corners of your mind, yeah, you go down that memory lane, and sometimes it's a good thing, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. We don't know. We're going to find out. And then we're going to look at X. Once you have decided why you have these feelings, and once you've gotten in touch with these feelings, and you understand what's going on with these feelings, talk to your ex, man. Yeah, it's always a good thing out rather than walk things out, and rather than fight things out. Talk it out. The more you talk out your emotions and feelings, the more understanding, the more satisfaction you get, the more awareness that you get, and the more you can move on with your life. Okay? Talk it out. All right, so here we go. What's the first one? First one is what? Does thinking about your ex really mean you're not over them? Number one. Let's go. We're gonna have some fun. Here we go. Number one. Doesn't mean that. See that right there? Just think about an ex. Got a mind on an ex and the ex on a mind on the ex and the ex on the mind. There you go. Yeah, she's thinking about it. She said, no, the question is, does thinking about your ex really mean you're not over them? Sometimes, I mean, on the surface, you may want to think that because someone thinks about somebody, then that means they're still hooked up with them. They're still connected. There's still some feeling there, so some emotion there. This could be, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. Thinking about your ex could be uh, a way to allow you to deal with some resonant emotions that you had with them. It doesn't mean that you're not over them, but we all have memories, man. When you've been with somebody 3 months, 6 months, year, 25, 10, you can't just forget about that connection you had. You can't just wipe you. So yeah, it's okay, man. It's okay if you think about that man. It's okay if you think about that woman, because sometimes, truth be told, memories are the only thing that lasts in your connection, in your relationship with that person. It's just a memory. And does that mean you're not over it? Not necessarily. It means that you may have come across a thought that reminded you of that person. Now you can come to grips with the terms that you're not there. You're not still dating them. You're not still together. You can deal with that, but you still have to deal with the memories in your mind about that prior ex. Okay, so it can mean that there's some unresolved feelings. You got to work through those things. You got to work through those ideas, those thoughts, the emotions that come in your mind. Could be some unresolved feelings you had about the relationship, but at the same point, you can still understand that the relationship is over, that this is an ex of your life and not a current partner of your life. And then relationship memories stay for a long time. Whenever you have a relationship, I don't care if it's 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, a year, the memories will linger, and they will continue to linger throughout your life, because memories come and do what? They come and go. Huh? And memories link back to a point in time. It could be a good memory, it could be a bad memory, but the memories will come and go, whether you have resolved to move on in your life or not. The memories is going to be there. So what you should do is have an understanding of how to deal with the memories when they occur, because I guarantee you will have a memory of a prior ex in your mind, in your life, because things happen. And whenever you have a relationship with someone, the memories that you shared, the memories that you cared, the memories that were bonding to you, that you connected with, will come back to you. Okay? And the thing about it is that you got to know how to deal with it. Like the late brother, great brother James Brown said, deal with it. Who? Because the memories will come. It's all about how you deal with it. That matters. Okay? All right. Number two is what? What's number two? Come on, Bobby, let's go. What's number two? Number two is memory lane. Yeah. Oh, now memory lane, man. It's gonna be some memory lanes up in here, you know? Memory, man. You can have happy memories. You can have sad memories, you know? All kind of memories will come to you when you have a ex and you have a relationship. I was married for over 20 years. I still have memories. Yeah. So does that mean that because I have a memory of my ex, I'm not over it? No, it does not mean that. It means that I'm over them, but I know how to deal with the memory. Sometimes they're happy memories that come to me. Sometimes they're sad memories, but I understand it's just what I thought as a reflection of a time that was, but it is not now. And when you look at it like that, that gives you an opportunity to separate yourself from the past and understand that your life is now, the here and now, and that you're in the present and that you must move forward in your life. It gives you an opportunity to peek backwards at a time in your life when you shared some mean that you're not over your ex. Are you with me, GP? Let's go. So number two is what? Memory lane. Okay, happy memories. You have happy memories. You have sad memories. But if you want to get together, you got to understand it. You got to unravel the thoughts, unravel the memories to understand if you do want to get back together. But it's not necessarily if you have the memory you want to get together. That's the wrong association. I mean, I can see how some people could think that, but just because you have a memory in your mind about a relationship, a person that you had a relationship with, does not mean that you necessarily want to get back together. It is just a thought. Okay, it's just a particular date and time that you shared a connection with another individual. Thoughts are just that, man. They go in, they go out. It's just that. They go on, they go off. Flashbacks. That's all it is, man. And you don't let a flashback pull you back. A flashback just gives you a flash of the past of what happened. And then you move on. You view it as a thought and you move on in your life. From random flashbacks that come to you. Because truth be told, we all have flashbacks all the time. Every day, every minute of our life, there's a flashback. That's why we have a memory. So that we can record and recall things in our life that will help us to understand where we are now and where we have been. And hopefully we can get an understanding of where we want to go. If you had a bad flashback, you don't want to repeat that, okay? You do not want to go on it. Huh? You have a flashback at a good relationship. And that still does not mean you want to go back to that relationship. It just means you remembered, you had a thought that entered to your mind about a good time that you had and shared. Okay? Understanding all along that the relationship is over, but you're still thinking about your ex. The thought, not about being back with them, but about the good time or the bad time that you shared with that individual. Are you with me, G? Let's go. Let's go. Number two, and then and you don't draw a conclusion just because you think about somebody or it's time you share together that you want them back now. That's a false conclusion from that. You can wind up getting emotionally messed up because you're going to have thought every time you think about something you did or something you went to the movie. You remember you guys sat together and saw this movie. You had a favorite song. You hear that song. You think that's an association of a time that was, but there is no longer is. You're in a new era. You're in a new time. You're in a new position. You're in a new place, and you've left that back behind. That you should guard against allowing that thought to drag you back into the past. Okay, it is over with you and your ex, or it should be. And we're gonna get that in the next point. But you have to determine, is it over or not? And if it's not over, then the thoughts that you have will drag you back and linger with you, and you'll be lingering in the past. Okay? So we don't want you to do that. So we're going to tell you how you can get from the past to the present. Number three. Well, number three is what? Figure out. Yeah. You got to figure out your feeling, man. When thoughts come into your life, when thoughts enter into your mind, and emotions come across you, you got to deal with those things. You got to understand and unravel a significant current, and it's something that you cannot relinquish. Okay, if there are thoughts that come into your mind and your heart, and that cause you to be concerned and stressed, that has to be dealt with. And that also could mean that ex that you continue to think about, you may have some unresolved issues that you still need to go back. In other words, you may have some unresolved feelings. There may be something still there. Okay? And that may be one of the reasons why you're still thinking about it. Number three, let's go. Almost done. Number three is figure it out. Yeah, you got to figure out your emotions, man. Figure out your feelings, figure out your emotions. There's many reasons you think about things. Many reasons you can think about your ex. The habits they used to do, the habits you all share together. And if you think about the times that you anger, when you think about them, if you're angry, that's a big sign. Because anger is an emotion that always ties us to something. And until you release the anger, you will continue to have an emotional connection with your ex. And that is one. Continue to think about their ex because they're really not over them. When you have an emotional feeling that triggers something in you about a past ex relationship, that emotional, especially when it's anger, that means that you have not moved on, because there's a part of you that ex is still into, and there's a part of him that's still into you. Okay, because of that emotional connection, you've not released that connection, and that connection is anger. Anger. You might be angry that he put you down. You might be angry that you called connection, and you have not released that. That's why you're still thinking. Okay, thinking about that ex. That number three, and we're almost out. So you gotta understand. A lot of us have these things, and it's always natural to have memories, man. Memories come and then go. I told you that earlier. But you understand, when you have a hate anger relationship or hate anger a connection, that means that you're not really done with that relationship. Okay. When you have a thought, and that thought about your ex is a disinterested thought, that's a sign that you have already released your emotional self, emotional feelings, thought. That's all. But when you have a thought like hate or anger, those type of feelings indicate that there's something emotionally still strong in you about that person, and you may not have released the link, release that thought about them yet. Okay. Constant daydreaming. That means you got some kind of unfinished business. You're always sitting around thinking about your ex. What are you doing now? What's she doing now? I don't know. Is she at work? Is she at work? They're going on break now. Got some issues there, and there's some unfinished business that you need to finish up with your ex. Okay. Last one. Number 4, talk to your ex once you figured it out. You figured out why you have these emotions, why you're thinking about your ex, why you think about the angry times, why you're thinking about the happy. Talk, and then once you got an idea, is it because you really want them back? Is it because you have already come to the conclusion that you're over them, but you need to talk. Once you decide why you're thinking about them, what's behind these thoughts, have a conversation with your ex. And you want to do that when you're very positive about your position, that you have relinquished it, or that you want them back. Either way, but you got to understand and figure out why you're having these emotions, why you're having these thoughts. Okay, they deserve to know where you stand in the relationship. If it's over, you say, look, I've been thinking about you, had a lot of thoughts come to mind, and you know what, it's over between me and you. I just want you to know that, I really appreciate the times we had. Talk, man. Talk it out. They deserve to know where you stand. And some of you may say, well, I still want you, John. I still want you. Some of you can say, well, I still want you, John, but conditional. It's a conditional. You want them, but there's some conditions. And then you say, I don't want you, John. I realize it. I'm thinking about you sometimes, but it's over, man. And then some say, I don't want you, but I don't want you, but maybe we can be friends for benefits, stuff like that. Those are honest things you need to do when you talk with, and you need to be honest about it. Okay. Don't lie. Don't conceal anything. Be open and be honest. Okay. When you're open and honest, it's the best policy in any relationship. Tell people you feel in a non-challenging way and in a non-threatening way exactly what's going on with you. Once you have discovered what's going on with you, because a lot of us, truth be told, don't even know what's happening. We just rolling with emotions. One day we feel happy, we are yeah. Next day we say yeah, and we don't know. We don't know what's the root because of those up and down cyclical feelings. We don't know. So because we don't take time, make the time, shake the time, break the time to understand ourselves, to understand our feelings and emotions, and to understand mind affect our behavior. Okay? So that's all I have for you, man. I want you to understand hard truth about why you're still thinking about your ex. Okay? It can possibly could be you want them back. Huh? It's not really over with you. They gone. It's over with them. They gone. They moved on. But you still harboring those emotions. You still harboring those feelings. You still have not relinquished the feeling that you get when you're with them, and those thoughts keep coming back into your mind, and then you understand you want. And then some of you are just the opposite. You know it's over. Those times, that's just normal. But if you know it's over and you're thinking about those are the things you need to do. And don't let those thoughts come and say, well, you should take him back. Well, she should take her back. Now, it's over. That's just a thought. You got to put your rational mind on it and not an emotional mind. Okay? That's all I got for you.
A towering presence, run like the wind. Be a king or a queen. Life in the Philippines.